Yes, we're ready.
All right.
Sounds good.
And
So
thanks,
my name is
Sean.
Bill Rosado with Aldrich Web Solutions, and my co-host for the podcast and this demo is Corey Hayes.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to be here with you. So, go through here real quick and show you a little bit about our invoice payments module. So, Aldrich is an e-commerce provider, but we have a standalone customer service portal that allows your customers to come on, pay invoices, and see some information. We'll go through this obviously pretty quickly. Go through here. So, once a customer is logged in to their particular account. Of course, I can see all the information that's specific to my customer ID, my customer code. I can get links to customer orders, get links to quotes. All this is really a self-service portal that allows your customers to just have all of that information right there at their fingertips. Can get links to all those order details and company quotes. For now, what I'm going to pay attention to is this invoice feature, the pay invoices online. This is going to bring up all of the invoices that are open on my customer code in the ERP in Acumatica. From this master list here, I can actually select and do a payment for all of them at once if I wanted to. Click that, continue. It's going to give me my payment options. We have an integration that we set up with your credit card processor or your ACH processor payment gateway, so that customer can save those credentials or that bank account information within the system. It's not saving it to the website. We don't want to be in the business of PCI compliance. We're just taking a security token and going in and grabbing it from those processors. So that's a pretty crucial role there. If they don't have that, they can put their credit card information in or their e-check ACH information in and pay those invoices. So that's a high level batch pay. If I wanted to, I can select multiple of these and pay it that way as well. I don't have to necessarily pay the whole thing. Nice, just click easy to the button. Or if I wanted to go into a particular invoice, I can bring up the invoice detail by clicking that link. So as you can see here, I just get information that is obviously pertinent to the invoice, get it right here. Again, self-service. So get my PO numbers, my terms, my net due date. If there's an order number, the order number that is attached with this, grab that and show that here as well. And any tracking information, set up APIs for your shipping provider, whether it's UPS, FedEx, you name it, your own truck. We can have APIs linked and show tracking information. And then I get a breakdown of these part numbers that are attached to this invoice. So I can see if it's been shipped, if it's been ordered, if it hasn't been shipped, it will be, if it hasn't arrived, it's still remaining out there. You can see my unit of measure, and then I can get my unit price and my extension price. So get all of that information. And then from here, I can print the invoice out. I can email the invoice out, send it straight from here, or I can go to that same pay tab that I was doing for the batch pay. I can pay this particular invoice. Your customer can do a partial payment if they want to break that down. And something to note here is that you have the ability on the back end of the site and the admin, you have the ability to create line items like processing fees. So if you had a 3% credit card processing fee that you wanted to pass on to the customer, you can manage that. It's flexible to whatever you need. You choose the percentage, you choose the flat dollar amount, whatever you need. Okay. So you can pay for invoices that way. A couple different ways that they can navigate to those invoices. So I'll show this one quick here. I can go to the order details and I actually can look up all of the information that's specific to this order. And as you can see, I have related invoices that are attached to this order. So that's another way that I can navigate and get to that invoice detail and pay those particular invoices. Same thing. So if they current statement, your customer can pull that statement that is open up. They can print that out. They can put it into an Excel, CSV. They can export their payments or their invoices. And then again, they get a master list of all of the invoices that are on this particular statement with just some high level information when it's been invoiced, when it's due, PO number, and then the amount. If they make partial payments, it will show the open amount that they have left, so that they can continue making those partial payments until it's completely closed out. And then you get a breakdown of the total, what's past due, 31 to 60 days, over 60 days, and what's current. Okay. And then, of course, I can click that same link and it brings me to that invoice detail as well. So a few different ways for your customers to navigate and self-service here, especially with frequently purchased items. Actually, in the customer portal, they can go ahead and they create quotes, and they can send those off and to you to turn into orders. Show you a little bit of the background of the site here as well on our invoice payments module. You have the ability, so this isn't anything customer facing, but you have the ability to create a dunning list using our automated emails feature. You can create invoice dunning. You just have to set it up once and then you never have to touch it again. And how you set it up is you have a daily start time and stop time. So you select the window that you want emails to send out. By default, it's selected 10 to 5. And then you set up the email series. So this is looking at the due date of each invoice that's in your ERP. And then it's going to send on the days that you tell it to. So if you want it to send 10 days before the due date, you can do that. If you want to put 0, it will send at the time that the invoice is created. And then so on and so forth. 1 day past due, 30 days past due, 60 days past due, so on and so forth. You just toggle that on. You can get up to 6. You don't have to use all 6 if you don't want, but you can get up to 6. And then to show you just a little preview, of course, it would be branding specific. It would have your logo, your colors, and then it shows the customer the upcoming invoice, friendly reminder on the due date, shows them the amount, and then it gives them this pay link where they can actually make anonymous payments on the particular invoice using the invoice number and the billing zip code. They put those in. They can pay via an anonymous pay link tab with a secure link. But of course, we're going to encourage them to go create an account and be able to self-service themselves in the customer portal. So that is sending straight to the contacts that are listed to receive invoices in your ERP. If for whatever reason you didn't want to send those out to a particular customer, you can configure, put those customer codes in here and say, I don't want these customers to receive invoice dunning. Reporting tools on all of this. So when dunning starts sending, when invoices start coming in, there's reporting tools in place that you can export, that you can go and you can grab and put it to Excel, send off to C-suite executives and show, what you're doing and how the customer self-service portal is being utilized. And all of those emails that I showed you, the email I showed you here, it is editable. So if you ever wanted it to read a different message, if you wanted to show a different message, you can edit this and you can edit by email. So you can change the language, the verbiage, if you want to on emails that are past due. Okay. Bill, anything that you want to add or
Yeah.
throw in here?
So we have 20 years experience in B2B e-commerce, and where this came about is because a prospect asked us, "Hey, we don't want e-commerce, but we want an invoice payment solution." So this is a standalone customer service / invoice payment solution, but it actually also is a major part of our e-commerce,
Mhm.
right? So if somebody's also looking at e-commerce, this is a solution that is all tied into it, rather than having your customer bounce to 2 different places. Now, if you don't have e-commerce, right, it literally could be an ad to a marketing page, or if you have e-commerce, but it's with somebody else, right, it is the ability that you can add a link there, right, and a customer can bounce here. I think the biggest thing is those dunning emails, really
Mhm.
taking off the AR to not have to manage that it all just gets automated. That a customer can also pay that anonymously, right? They can pay individuals or they can log in.
So think about the time that your AR team spends just sending those dunning emails, sending those out, and the amount of time that your team is utilizing just getting paid. And then think about the amount of time that it actually takes for your pay for that cash to actually get into the bank. You can shorten that cycle up, make it work a lot quicker, and be an automated process for you with the dunning. And then yes, just like Bill said, on our e-commerce platform, this is all swallowed into that. So it's not several portals that your customers are having to log into and different login information here. It's all consolidated into one place. Okay.
And with the shift in workforce, right, and we're moving into seeing baby boomers retire and other generations come up and have the responsibility. These are the tools that they're looking for, right? This is their normal day to day in their B2C world. They're looking for B2B tools that have the same exact access. They're not looking to write a check, right, and mail it in an invoice. They want to pay their invoices online, right? Quickly, easily. They don't need to talk to Corey, right? They just want to go ahead, find it is what they're looking for, and go ahead and pay that invoice. But you can also they can track numbers as far as tracking. They can go ahead and search a part and find out what their price is and find out if you have it in stock. So there's a lot of self-service. And if you're missing the self-service that is in an interface that your customers are looking for, you're missing out opportunity as far as growth.
Yep. And just to show you some of that functionality here. So I just did a partial search of STN. This is going to bring all of the part numbers that are in my ERP with STN on them. Your customer can get a short description in the ERP description in the customer service portal to show them exactly what they're looking at. They can get inventory detail, support multiple locations. So as many locations as you have and you want to show inventory for, you can show what's available, and then you could show if it's due in a certain amount of days. And then yes, the pricing is always customer specific. Since your customer is logging in, they're going to get their specific price, whether it's contract, the pricing library that you have set up. It's going to be customer specific every time. This is all live call. So the moment that you update a price in your ERP is the moment that it's going to pull over to the website. So because it's doing a live call for pricing every single time. And then, yeah, your customer can add it to a quote, change the quantities, put an item if they need to, build this quote request, and then they can submit it, and then it gets sent off to Acumatica. They get notified, you get notified, gets sent off to Acumatica for you to then turn into an order. A little bit different from the full e-commerce platform that, of course, is the ability to add items to a cart. You can really flesh out a lot of that data and the descriptions and the headlines and all of that good stuff into your data or into your items rather, and then they can add those items to a cart, submit it, and process it into Acumatica as an order. Okay. I think that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah.
All right.
If you have any questions, please just feel free to reach out to Corey or I. If you want to join and subscribe to our podcast, you're going to see that Amy actually it was a guest on one of our podcasts previously. So if
Yes.
nothing else, watch Amy's podcast.
It's called Tech Talks. A little play on TED Talks there. Tech Talks, TECH, evolving distribution. So you can find it on YouTube or anywhere you find your podcast.
And we can include that in the recording email too, the link to that. So
Appreciate that. Thank you.
sure. Thank you so much.